everyone, Taylor here, and today I'm so excited that I get to talk to you all about the movie Annihilation. I have been anticipating this movie since I heard that Alex Garland was attached to the project because I was such a huge fan of Ex Machina, and this movie did not disappoint. Please don't watch this if you haven't seen it yet. I am probably going to veer off into spoiler territory, and I don't want to spoil this movie for any of you because it is unreal. I love this movie so much. So let's get into this. First of all, I want to hit on the obvious strength of this movie. This movie is so enchantingly stunning. It's insane. It's so captivating. Just the world that they've built in this movie. The visual effects are insane. It just left me in awe. The way that they depict mutations in this movie inside what they call the shimmer. The shimmer is that bubble that people, that they send teams into to figure out what the hell is happening in there. Inside the shimmer, the mutations are just done so beautifully. Some of them are super subtle, and some of them are just so striking, but both ends of the spectrum just work so well, and I loved the way that they explain it. It's just so awesome. It really is. It's such a aesthetically pleasing movie to look at, which plays a huge part of the movie overall. But not even just that, not even just focusing on that. The cinematography is great. I love the way that the shots were framed in this movie. The framing was beautiful. The lighting was fantastic. There's one scene in particular towards the beginning of the movie where they're inside the house, and it's the framing, it's hard to explain. It's like just showing, like it shows the staircase and it shows the windows, and then it takes you upstairs, and then when we see them in the kitchen, just the way that all of those shots were put together really captured my attention. But the cinematography in the movie is great. That just adds to how stunning the movie is in regards to visual appeal. So that whole department, killing it. Like that, it's amazing. But also the story. The story I tried to keep myself away from. I watched one trailer, I think. I know I watched one. I don't think I watched more than one. But I watched one trailer and then didn't really want to know anything else going into this. And I'm really glad that that's how I got to see it, because I was so on the edge of my seat for this entire movie, just waiting to see where this journey was going to end. I was on such a journey with this movie, and I love that. I love being able to sit back and feel like I'm in a book, like I'm on an adventure, and that's exactly what it felt like here. The setup of the story was great. I loved the characters, and yeah, I really don't have any complaints about this movie. I'm very glad that the ending was the way that it was. I don't know too much, but I know there was some controversy between the studio and Alex Garland about the ending, about them wanting him to change it, and then ultimately him getting his way, which I'm very glad about, because the ending is, it's a little heartbreaking. I mean, we find out that the main character, Natalie Portman's character, we find out that she went on this whole journey because she owed it to her husband, to Oscar Isaac's character, to go in there and figure out how to save him. And at the end of the movie, we find out, and she finds out, that he's dead. And that the person that they think is her husband back at base camp, that's what I'm going to call it, is a mutated copy. And that blew me away, because the whole movie sets up perfectly for that to happen, but I still was not expecting for that to happen. Throughout the movie, we see them talk about mutations that they've never seen before and things that aren't really scientifically possible based on the information that they know, and then gets to a point in the movie where they talk about how the shimmer is refracting everything back in. So basically, since they went inside, the shimmer is now refracting their DNA outward at everything else in the shimmer. From my understanding, at least. My very, very basic understanding. And so, because of that, because their DNA is in there, it's allowing whatever it is about the shimmer that is able to take from that DNA and create, it has created another Oscar Isaac. Sergeant Kane, I believe, is the character. And then we see it happen with Natalie Portman's character. We watch a drop of blood come out of her nose, and we see it multiply and become a physical, tangible being. And then we see it touch her and become a copy of what she looks like. And this movie was so bold in the choices that it made and the places that it went, and the payoff for me was fantastic, because I'm a hopeless romantic and I'm an optimist, and even though this movie was insane and, had so much on the line and people were dying, there was still a part of me that was hoping she was going to get to go back to her husband and things were going to be okay. But deep down, I think I knew that something was going to happen where that was not going to be possible. And that last scene of them standing in the room back at base camp, where she looks at him and says, "You're not Kane," or asks him, "You're not Kane, are you?" And he looks at her and says, with the blankest stare, and says, "I don't think so," and asks if she is who she is. Like, that, God, that hurt. But I loved it. I think it was a perfect way to end it. And I have nothing but fantastic things to say about this movie. I thought Natalie Portman did an amazing job. I thought Gina Rodriguez and Tessa Thompson and the rest of the cast, Oscar Isaac, I thought they all did a great job. And I really was completely sucked into this movie. One thing that I also would like to mention is I was very much excited about two scenes in particular. One was the scene where they find the original team's base camp and they find the memory card left for them. And they see Kane cutting open one of the other characters and his insides are moving. But it's not even his inside. Some weird snake looking, I don't even know. It was disgusting as all hell. But we see that. And immediately they're already split. Some of them are like, wow, that's real and we're effed. And some of them are like, it's trick the light, I'm not doing this. Like, I thought that was an interesting way to start that divide, because we do see kind of a divide there going forward in the movie. But there's that, and then they walk into another room, and the guy that was just getting cut open in the video, we see parts of his body that have been mutated into that wall with foliage and flowers and moss or whatever it is, but it's just this really striking image that I think represents the film as a whole so well. It just, that the way that they did that, the way it was designed, I thought was wonderful. And another scene is, jumping forward, when they are very divided and we see Gina Rodriguez's character is starting to very much lose her mind. And it goes back to the original point that she brought up at the beginning of the movie, is either we go in there and things inside of there are going to kill us, or we go in there and we all go crazy and we're going to end up killing each other. And all of the elements in this film, I feel like, just came together so well and just told such a solid story. And I really cannot recommend this movie enough, which is kind of silly because I'm really hoping you're not watching this if you haven't already seen it. But if you are, please go see it. Please, please, please go see it. I know that you can only see it in theaters if you're in the US, I believe. Everywhere else has to wait for a Netflix release, which kind of makes me sad. But either way, please take the time and see this movie, because it is such a work of art and I'm absolutely buying it the second that it comes out. But I'm going to leave it there because I could talk about this movie for days with everything going on in it. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment below with your thoughts. I really, really want to discuss this movie. There's so much to talk about. As always, my links are down in the description. My Patreon link is down there where you can find exclusive content. I've got all my social media links down there, my Stardust app, my Twitter, my Instagram, all that fun stuff. And as always, I appreciate you all so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will see you all next time.